Well, good evening, John O'Flaherty, the B3 burner, and what I have for you is a look at skylines of four major cities in Flight Simulator. We're going to look at New York, where we're at right now, Kennedy Airport, and then we're going to look at Chicago, then we're going to look at San Francisco, and then finally we'll have a look at Los Angeles, and we're going to do both nighttime and daytime. So we'll start off New York at night. And here we go. Now I'm going to do quite a bit of editing so that we're saving some time. So after I get off the ground, we'll cut right to New York proper and be looking at the Manhattan skyline. Okay, so here we come to Manhattan. I'm a little disappointed. It doesn't light up like I thought it would. But this is Manhattan at night. It does a better job of lighting up the streets and the bases of the buildings than the buildings themselves. Here we go. We're coming up over Ellis Island and we're going up the East River. Here, let me go ahead and slow it down. Not bad. Manhattan's Lower East Side. There's the Brooklyn Bridge. And Brooklyn over this way. Whoa, and I better be careful. So a few lighted windows, but mainly it's the streets that are lit up. A few red beacon lights for the sake of airplanes. Let's get a little higher and see if we can find Central Park. Really kind of hard to tell at night. Now, yeah, I think that might be Central Park. And that, my friends, is New York City. And this was handcrafted, folks. They lovingly created these buildings themselves. Bing Maps provided the base, but I believe it's the flight simulation crew that made them three-dimensional. And that takes some talent, some patience, and some time. LaGuardia Airport's right there. We're going to make a southward turn to the left and fly over the Hudson. We'll be and go down Manhattan's west side from the upper west side of Manhattan and back down to the south side. And again, I don't know how accurate every inch of it is, but it's probably pretty accurate. Now, the blue top building, is that the Chrysler Building or the Empire State Building? At the risk of not getting too close to it, I don't know. I'm going to guess the Empire State Building, but I could be wrong. I think that tall building is the one that replaced the Twin Towers, I think. So I'm trying to control the camera and the airplane at the same time and not having a bang-up job of it. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to pause flight and we're going to quickly change the time. So let's make another pass. There we go. Brooklyn Bridge. Can see it a lot better. Another bridge. Is that the Manhattan Bridge? I do not know. I don't have my bridges along the East River memorized. What is that, the Queensboro Bridge? The 59th Street Bridge? I don't think so. That's a cantilever, unless they've changed it. And we have a couple errors. We have cars flying through the air. Try to ignore that. They haven't quite gotten traffic accurate yet. And we'll just kind of... we won't go back that way again. Okay. And that's the New Jersey side. So let's finish off by having a look at Lady Liberty in the daytime. One of these is Ellis Island, either the one to the left or the right. I want to say the one to the left, but I'm not sure. But that's definitely Liberty Island right there. See if I can get a good look at her. There we are. All right. So that's the Statue of Liberty. And with that being said, we're going to move on to our next city. And I'm going to let it go for now. See you in Chicago. Okay, so we're at Chicago's Midway Airport. And we're going to get going facing southeast on runway 13 Charlie, so that we can see the city skyline in the same direction we're traveling. There we go. Landing gear up and flaps up. And the first thing you notice about Chicago is it's very lit. Very flat and very lit. What a busy city. Okay, here we go. We're headed toward Chicago along the shores of Lake Michigan, and again, it does a better job at simulating lighting up the ground with the street lights than it does lighting up the buildings. You have to get pretty close to them to see the lights in the windows. And it's probably kind of like that in real life. So I can't fault them for it. Is that Soldier Field? I don't know what it is, but that's not Soldier Field. I think that's Soldier Field. That's where the old Meigs Field used to be, I think. There we go. That's Soldier Field, home of the Bears. Yep. One of those is the old Sears Tower, which changed names or changed something or other. They don't call it the Sears Tower anymore, and I don't know why. Maybe Mr. Sears fell out of favor with Mayor Daley. He seemed to run that town for the longest time. Ah, you know what? I think that's the old Sears Tower. If I can bring my mouse over. This one right here. Yep, I think that's it. The old Sears Tower. Yes, sir. There we go. From the north side of the plane looking south. So while we circle around and do another pass, let's pause flight and make it light again. It's kind of a cloudy, nasty day, but here's Chicago once again from the northwest corner looking east, looking southeast and south. Off this direction, one of the airports. Can't find it now. There you go. I've left it so that I can manipulate time of day, but the weather is live. Whatever the weather report for the city is what it will simulate. So if it's gray and dreary here, it's gray and dreary in Chicago for real, at least this hour of the day or hour of the night. we changed the time to, I don't know, we made it earlier, but it's still the weather conditions of the 6 o'clock hour, the 6 p.m. hour. So anyway, that's a look at Chicago. Next stop, San Francisco. San Francisco we go to. So meet me on the West Coast. And greetings and welcome to the West Coast. We're in San Francisco, and it's live right now. And this is what it looks like at 4:21 in the afternoon. You notice we went to New York live. It was dark. Chicago, it was dark. Here, it's still light, but not by much. Sun's about to go down. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off. And we're going to go to both San Francisco and Oakland. Since they're both so close to each other, we can kind of knock off two birds with one stone and say that we've visited both of them. San Francisco Bay Bridge with its 4 towers on the west end, and the new portion of the Bay Bridge over here completed and open to traffic near Labor Day, September 2013. And here we go. I'm going to try to slow down. There's AT&T Park, or what do they call it now? Oracle Park, where the Giants play. And there we go. Kind of looking into the glare of the sun, but it's pretty. Amongst the piers. Looking good. You see, they do a pretty accurate job, or as best they can, of doing up the city. Alcatraz. Alcatraz in the foreground. Angel Island in the back, or actually this is Angel Island in the background. Let's go buzz Alcatraz. There we go. Pretty good. I think they did a pretty good job of impersonating it. Uh-oh, there's a water tower without its tower. Want to go out and see the Golden Gate Bridge? Let's do it before it gets dark. There's the city fading in the distance. We'll come back to it in the dark. How's that? We'll fly around the Golden Gate Bridge and come back to San Francisco in the nighttime. So there we go. I like it better on the side that's facing the sun. A little more colorful, right? Okay, so this is a good place to stop. We can have a look. Very pretty. Now let's darken it up. I don't know if the Golden Gate Bridge has all that blue at night, but okay. I will take your word for it. All right. And there's our Art Deco Golden Gate Bridge at night. If this side's blue, I wonder whether the other side is red. I have no idea. I'm totally clueless. Nope, the whole thing's blue. I didn't know they did that. I find that hard to believe, but okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to look for the lit buildings of the San Francisco City Center downtown. And there we go. We're going to come behind it on the west side of downtown and make a circle. Pyramid Building, Transamerica Building in the distance, a building leaning precariously to the side. I need to slow down so that I have some sense of control over here. Let's turn to the left, see what we got. See how my frame rates are doing. As I turn toward the lights, I'm down in the 50s. That's still pretty good considering I'm recording. Yeah, very nice. I like it. Bank of America building. No lights on the Bay Bridge. It's interesting. Did they light the Transamerica Tower? Ferry building down below. The Embarcadero. That long stretch of wide lit roadway. They didn't light much of the Transamerica building. Let me pull in real close to it. This plane is actually very hard to control when you drop below 100 knots. Yeah, they left very few. They didn't light much. A little disappointed there. All right, so we're going to come out of it and we're going to go to Oakland real quick. There's Coit Tower. They did a better job of lighting that than they did the Transamerica building. And downtown Oakland is over here. And to the east of downtown, you'll see Lake Merritt. There's 980 coming into 880. Okay, slow her down, slow her down. Yep, there we go. There's the Tribune building, the Oakland Tribune building right there. And there's Lake Merritt. Lake Merritt is over here. All right, so we saw Oakland. Well, we didn't see Oakland in the daytime, but we saw San Francisco day and night, and we saw Oakland in the night. We have one more place I'd like to go, and that is Los Angeles. So give me a chance to get down there. Well, greetings, folks, and welcome to Los Angeles. We are in Tinseltown. We're on runway 6 left, and the sun's about to go down, and it's questionable whether this will be good daylight conditions for seeing the city. Sun sets even earlier. Well, actually, no. It sets a little earlier in LA than it does San Francisco this time of year, but not much. Tell you what, well, let's make it a little lighter. It's 4:41. Yep. Here, let's bring it back to about 12 noon. There we go. That's downtown LA. And directly opposite, like I said, should be Dodger Stadium. We'll look for Dodger Stadium later. Let's just do a low pass near Los Angeles proper. Yeah, think about it. As large as LA is and as spread out as it is, it really has a very relatively small downtown with only a few skyscrapers. The actual amount of downtown LA is minuscule compared to the size of the rest of the city and county. So we'll just make a circle around hand. Around. Is that the LA Times building or City Hall? I've seen that on TV shows of LA. All right. There's Los Angeles in the daytime. So you want to see Dodger Stadium? Here's Dodger Stadium. This whole area is Elysian Park, and I believe the stadium is up here. Let's get a little closer. There it is. Stadium's right here. And there it is. That's it. One of the original old National League ballparks from when the Dodgers first moved out to Los Angeles. I think they're the only ones that still have an original ballpark from the 50s, late 50s. All right, so we're on the north side of downtown. This would be a good time to hit the brakes in midair, and let's make it dark. There we go. We'll make it 7:30 at night. And they did a pretty good job of lighting up, well, they lit up the freeways very well. And they did a good job of lighting up the buildings. I like that. And my frame rate's tanked down to 48, 49 as I get closer. Let's make another pass to look at LA in the dark. And those rabbit lights in the distance are actually the approach lights for LAX. Way in the distance. Okay, so we've seen 4 cities, both day and night: New York, Chicago, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. I hope you enjoyed our tour. Let me know how accurate you think they are, aside from the fact that they wouldn't appear from long distances. That I have no control over. That's a function of the simulator to save wear and tear on the computer. But that's it. One more view looking back at the Los Angeles skyline. Hope you got something out of this. If you decide or sort of hanging on the fence about getting this game, you might decide that the pictorial accuracy and the beauty of the geography and how they render it is the tipping point that makes you say, "Oh, that's beautiful, I want to buy this game." John O'Flaherty, the B3 Burner, bidding you adieu and saying good night.